Is there another way? Oh, I can't remember if I can do this because of the way my light is. Because I have to have that thing on. Okay. Apparently, I'm not going to be able to use this. Oh my goodness. Well, then I shan't. So, alright, there we go. I think we're alright for now. Just make a couple of adjustments here. There we go. And I am adding a few more squares to this project right now. I really like this project. And like I said, I'm a little limited on the yarn, but I am going to do what I can with it. And maybe, maybe another time I can get some more yarn for this project. The lounge chair I'm currently using, a pink lounge chair, used to belong to my grandmother. And I love this lounge chair. I'm doing the Modern Granny, which is a pattern that I'm completely addicted to. And something else I'm addicted to is the stacked single crochet instead of a chain 3. When I do a circle, I do the stacked single crochet. So I wonder if I can take this down a little more. Hi, how's it going? We having a good evening so far? Well, it's evening here in Florida, that's for sure. Okay, another double crochet. Hola, ¿cómo está? How's it going? Hopefully Monday. Ah, I already sort of kind of have one. Thanks very much. Long story. Very, very long story. It doesn't quite work that way, I can tell you. Besides, I gotta tell you, I'm 55 years old. So, there's no one out there who's gonna want to play that role. Hey, how's it going? I'm tying my hair. Hey, you. Hi. 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 Hi, Delilah. It's a pretty name, isn't it? Delilah. Very, very pretty. Let me look at my stitches real quick here. Yep, we're good. Pardon me. So now I want to do my single crochet and chain stitches. Yeah, like this. 1, 2, 3. Now I was doing a little experiment with this pattern earlier today. The stacked single crochet I don't think works when you're just doing just chain stitches like this for this part of this pattern. Hi Ben, how's it going? It's all good. So let me just go ahead and do this. Get around this part of the circle here. Well, it's not really a circle, it's more like a square. 2, 3. And let me just check my stitches here. Fairly quiet evening here. 1, 2, 3. Not much going on. Hold on. Join. Come on. Join right here. There we go. Hee hee. So, I'm going to do my favorite stacked single crochet. There we go. Try not to lose contact with the hook and the yarn here. Ooh. Do round number 3. Got the fan going. Nice evening. My cat's asleep on the table over there. He's my little boy. He's my little sweet baby boy. I was gonna have a nice mic attached to my shirt, but you know, apparently with the phone stand that I have, I cannot use this little thing, which is the receiver for the mic. So, just kind of trying to get another square made in a solid color to join to that end. Okay. Not at the moment. I don't think that's going to be possible at this time, unfortunately. Yeah, just me flying solo, just doing my own thing. It's all good. It's all good. All the things. Yeah, okay. This is right. This is correct. I'm a little distracted though. La 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 la. No, I'm not looking to collab. I'm just happy doing my own thing. Just being independent. That is becoming a thing with me these days. You know, not having to answer to other people. There's a very, very long story behind that. Very long story that I shan't go into right now. Okay. So I'm almost done with this round. You know, it is warm up here. I wonder if I should put the air conditioning on, at least for the night. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Join over here. Alright, slip stitch over to the corner. Single crochet. Chain 3. Oh, it's funny. I was conversing with 2 of my coworkers today about life outside of planet Earth. You know, how there's like all these other universes out there, and how they are both convinced that there is a very high possibility that there's life out there. I'm unsure myself. I've not seen evidence yet. But I suppose that just because I haven't seen it, that doesn't mean it's not there. One of these 2 people is Muslim and the other one is a Jehovah's Witness. I grew up Protestant in the Methodist Church, and I never really gave it a lot of thought. You know what I mean? I knew that we had sent people to the moon, and you know, we had a space program and all that. But generally speaking, I didn't think it was terribly important to think about. so I just didn't. But since it came up, maybe there is something to it, you know. And my question then becomes, what becomes of, you know, faith and all that if life is ever discovered out there outside of planet Earth? You know, does that mean that believers will believe that God invented it? It's kind of an interesting question. Um, and I find it interesting. This is my new shirt. If you bring up my past, just know that Jesus dropped the charges. And believe me, there would be some charges there in my past that charges need dropping. And I'm a good girl. Well, or at least I would like to be a good girl going forward. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch here. Okay, let me take a look at this, see where I'm at. Okay, I need to do another row of double crochets. Hi there, how's it going? Are we having a great Monday so far? I certainly hope so. It wasn't too bad of a Monday on my job today, that's for sure. But then again, early in the week we didn't have a whole lot of closings today. I work for a builder and a title company, and you know, people come in, close on their houses, get their keys, move in, you know. Hey, what's up? Hey. And you know, we only had a few people come in today, so it was fairly quiet. Fairly quiet. We did get one realtor in there though he can be a little bit, he can test patience a little bit. Oh, I'm just crocheting a square. What it's going to eventually be part of is right here on my lap. Give me a second. Ta-da. This is a work in progress right here. Whee! Just a nice honey color and cream. I'll get the tails sewn in a little bit here. But I was also doing a blanket like this in blue and white. I should probably finish that one too. So I'm going to finish this square in this color and then switch over to the cream colored yarn so I can join it to the project. There is a way to do that that makes it look really nice, and I really like the way it looks. I think it looks great. I really hope that at some point I'll be able to get more of these two colors of yarn. I have my laptop in front of me too, and be able to finish the entire afghan. It's kind of rare that I finish projects because I keep running out of yarn. Let's see here. Get these stitches. This is like my new favorite pattern, I guess, because it's a 2-row repeat. It's very simple, very basic. You know, beginning crocheters can get it very, very quickly. You know, and it still looks great. In fact, I have that other project, which is the same pattern over here. And I'm running out of white yarn. Let's take a look here. Making a lot of progress on this one. Lots of progress on this one. Whee! That's this one. Huzzah! I wonder if using these colors, instead of white, could I have gone with like a sand color to make it look a little beachy? you know, maybe, maybe. Mm, I mean, I do have some yarn that color, but I'm doing a different project with it. I have way too much yarn stacked up over here. I'm working on this with that sand colored yarn. I call it sand. It's kind of sandy. Okay, so let's see. We've got our 3 double crochets right here. Oh, it's just, my crochet channel. I do some crochet tutorials. What I need to do really, I think, is, crochet 101. This is how you chain. This is what a slip stitch is. This is what a single crochet is. Very basic, like I said, crochet 101 stuff. And I'm going to get to that. I have so many ideas in my head right now. I do indeed. But I just wanted to get some videos up as quickly as possible of some projects that are, just a little bit challenging, a little bit interesting, something a little bit different. So I just went with it. I said, you know what? I wanna do that. I'm just gonna get something up there. You always miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So that's why I just said, look, just film something, get it up there. Start somewhere. What is it that the Dade Ching said? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So yeah. Yep. I see, okay. That's fine. It's kind of quiet over here. I rather like tranquil, quiet evenings. Very peaceful. So, maybe I should schedule when I go live for the people who are subscribed. You know what I mean. There we go. I think we've got this one pretty much completed. Excellent. Go. Alright. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and pull that out. I'm going to do a different join. Let's see. Do we have a yarn cutter? There we go. There we are. I'm going to pull this through. Give me my needle. Ah! Nothing since I got home. So, hang on a minute. Look at this. All rolled up nice so I can put it into the needle. Hey, come on now. Alright, that's ridiculous. There we go. So we take this and put it through that stitch. Okay. And through this one over here. And there we go. And it's called the invisible join. You can't even really tell it's there. Little things that we yarn magicians can do. Yep. Oh, that looks great. Well, thanks. Let's take a look here. Through that loop there. Yep. And back through the loops on the back of the square. Okay, great. Now, where's my scissors? I'm going to carefully cut this off. There we go. And then this one here, I'm going to carefully remove that one. Yay, this one is done. Huzzah. Okay, so now, where's my green colored yarn? Ah! Uh-oh, did the cats eat it? Oh my goodness. Well, actually, when you have two cats, they think that the yarn is their personal play toy. I'm like, get off my yarn. Admittedly, my older cat, his name is Gustav, he has learned not to play with the yarn too much. He knows that this is my thing. Make lots of these. No, I do like crocheting. I do make jewelry as well from recycled items. I'm also a big reader. I like books a lot, and just doing those kinds of things. Those are some of the things I like to do. There's some things I used to like to do that I can't do anymore. Like, I can't go horseback riding anymore because I have nowhere to do it. I used to like cycling a lot, but I don't have my bicycle anymore. But yeah, or visiting the beach. It's funny, I live in Florida, but I never find myself at the beach. Well, I live close to Orlando, so 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's kind of funny. I grew up in Maryland, and I think more about going to places like Ocean City than I do Daytona Beach. And I'm an hour away from Daytona Beach. Go figure. Okay, so now that I have this part started, I can join it to this. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, front to back, right through here. And pull that through. There we go. Chain 1. Alright. This is where it's going to get really interesting because I have to make sure I place the hook in the correct spot to make sure it joins evenly. It can go quickly. You just want to watch where you're placing the hook. Yeah, because crochet, the word crochet, comes from a French word that means hook. The hook that we're using to do this. I guess you could say, this is kind of, some people don't like this. I guess you could say that crocheters are hookers, which is kind of weird. Weird. Yeah, some people don't like that particular nickname, so they won't go with it. I do like Stitch Witch though. I think that's funny. I think it's cute. There we go. And right over here. Let me just make sure that I'm into the correct spot. Un momento. Oh, okay, yeah, because we're right at the corner. And what I'm going to have to do is this one right here. There we go. That's right, I have to chain 1 and pull it through. Chain 1 and join. Huzzah! Let me just check my work here a little bit. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, alright. Never hurts to check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Right? 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. It's great while it's small. You can flip it around as you need to. And it doesn't make you really super hot when it's spread out over your lap while you're working on it. This is one disadvantage of crocheting in Florida. When your project is kind of like spread out over your lap and you're trying to get it done, it gets hot. Very, very hot. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now, because it is relatively cool, I have the door open. We don't have the air conditioning on right now. I have no dog. I have 2 cats. 2 black cats. Because, let's face it, no cat is bad luck. I don't care what color they are. All cats are always good luck. Alright, so that one up got attached. I need to do some more with the cream accent. There, although I used to have a dog a long time ago, Pekingese, and he was a crazy little dog. And he actually, I should say, belonged to my then boyfriend, really. And he passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. He got old. You know, he was just an older Pekingese. His name was Gizmo, of course. Isn't that the most original name ever? Oh yeah, 2 cats, 2 black ones. The first one I got, the first cat, I got him in 2008 when he was a 3-month-old kitten, right? And I got him because my coworker Renee found him on her rooftop. He had got up there due to a tropical storm. And apparently, I guess, from what I understand, the wind just blew him up there. Just went whoosh, and there he was. And she couldn't keep him because she was pregnant. And pregnant women cannot be around cat litter because it creates a very toxic sort of environment. Dos gatos, 2 cats. Ha ha ha. Oh, last I checked, as far as subscribers goes, just a little bit over 700, which is pretty amazing. Kind of hard to believe. Let me take a look at this. I think I need to join this to a different square. Yes. I will flip it around and go over here. Yep. You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with things at times. Doobie doobie doo. Alright, so gotta make sure it's facing the correct way. There we go. I'm gonna be getting some fruit salad here in a minute. My husband made a nice fruit salad, and it's really nice on warm evenings, you know, to eat something nice and cool, as opposed to, like, you know, hot food. There we go. I think this is gonna look really good. Just, I know that when seamstresses or people who sew, when they get together and they sew together and they have a conversation and all that, they call it the stitch and bitch. I'm like, oh, okay, that's really good. I'm not sure I wanted to call it that. Just conversation, just chatting about life and stuff. You know, just things. There we go. This is better. This is much better. Okay. Go over here to this. And I'm going to just make sure I'm going into the corner of the correct square. Oh, my cats, one of them is named Gustav, and there's a reason for that. His name came from the hurricane that blew him on top of my coworker's roof. Hurricane Gustav. The other one is Sunny. His name came from the pet store where my husband adopted him from. And even though they're both black, there is an easy way to tell them apart. Sunny has a little tiny stumpy tail, no bigger like than my pinky finger. Gustav has a long, beautiful, graceful tail. So that's, well, and Gus, I think he has a little bit of Siamese in him, because if you were to look at his face, the shape of it, the snout is a little more pointy than that of Sunny. And there is something in Gus's eyes that suggests a feline wisdom that's markedly different than Sunny. Sunny still acts like this little crazy adolescent kid. Gus is more mature and wise, and it's like he knows. He knows things. He's seen things. So now, yay, I'm finished that off. There we go. Okay, much better. That's in the correct place now. Thankfully, this is easy to correct. It's getting a little warm up here. Oh, I love this. I do love this so much. I think it looks great. I love this. I don't even know if people still decorate in these colors at all, but I like it. I do. I like it a lot. So, oh, did I have another one that I had made today? On my lunch hour? I don't think so. I did. I made like 3 of them on my lunch hour. And I think, oh no, here's right here. Okie dokie. So what I need to do is do another cream row. Oh, the boys are Sunny Butt. Sunny Butt. If I turn this camera around, the mess that is on that chair over there will become visible. He's asleep on the back of the chair. Sunny. Oh, honey bunny. Oh, he's sleeping. I don't know if I want to, like, disturb the little thing. He looks so happy up there. And I think Gus, little old man, I think he's gone off. He's got a special little corner that he likes to go to and take a nap. Ay, ay, ay. He's my boy. He's my sweet baby. The funny thing about Gus is that he doesn't like my husband at all. He never has. He will avoid him like you would not believe. The only time Gus goes anywhere near my husband is when my husband has the treat box. And he's like shaking the treat box and making it rattle. That's when he will actually be friendly to him. Beyond that, he's like, I want nothing to do with this man. So, that's how he is. Okay. By the way, let me look at something on the Afghan, or at least the beginnings of it. Here. Okay, I see where I can put this. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to have to sew in the tails. I really should do that. I really should do that as I go. Oops, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Have I ever wanted a dog as a kid? Oh, I grew up with dogs. When I was a child, we had 2 beagles. I loved those beagles. They were named Jake and Zeke. And I do know this much about beagles, okay? You have to keep them busy, because if you don't, they will get destructive. They are active dogs. They need interaction. I remember one time my family and I went out to a restaurant for dinner, and we put the two dogs down in the basement. It was a very large area where they could run around and play, and you know, they just had their own time. But they didn't want to do that. Those two dogs came to the top of the stairs right by the basement door, and it was shut. And they started to dig with their claws, and they half destroyed that door. So it's pretty funny. But that's when we learned you've got to keep these dogs busy. You know, going out, you probably should have someone come and look after them, play with them, walk them. I mean, we were only out for a couple of hours. It wasn't long at all. And we didn't crate dogs back then. I had never seen that before. In fact, the first time I've ever seen it was within the last 10 or 15 years. I never known anybody who owned a dog to crate the dog at night, or if they went out or something like that. Never ever. I do know this much. I've noticed that British people, they will take their dogs everywhere. Their dogs go to the grocery store with them. They go to the bookstore. They go anywhere with them. And to me, that's a little unusual. There comes a time when you kind of probably should maybe leave the dog at home. As much as I would love to take my cats everywhere, I'm not inclined to do that. But I will say this. We have had dogs come into the building at my job, so that way they don't have to sit out in the Florida heat. And in fact, as far as I know, it's illegal. You can't close your dog up in the car, or your child, or any other. Hamsters? I never thought about it. It wasn't really on my radar. I was more of a dog-cat type. That was more my thing. I will say this, my husband told me that when he was young, he had mice. He had white mice. And the weird thing about that is not so much the mice themselves, but the fact that if you met my husband, he looks like a freaking Hell's Angel. He's a very large man, very burly. I mean, he's an Army veteran. And he doesn't look like the sort who would have white mice, but he did. He loved it. I didn't know him then. I hadn't met him yet when he had these little white mice. But he said they were fascinating. He liked having them like walk up his arm and stuff like that, and he thought it was really cute and really adorable. I've never really had mice. I did know somebody at my old church who had rats. She was allergic to every other kind of pet, like dogs, cats, whatever. And the only kind of animal fur or dander that she was not allergic to was rats. So she kept these rats. And when they died after like 2 years or so, she would put their little corpses in the freezer. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure I understand that. I would think that you want to maybe cremate them? I don't know. I've had cats who passed away, and I have them cremated, and I have their ashes. But yeah, I just thought it was a little odd to put rats in your freezer, or dead rats in your freezer. What are you gonna do? I hope she never accidentally pulled out a dead rat and cooked it. That is just too weird for words. Weird, weird, weird. The thought is quite disturbing. I do. I do indeed. I do work full time. I sure do. I work as a receptionist and an office assistant during the day. That's my day job. Yep. It's, it brings in money. It's a job. It's a thing. Yep. Oh, let me just... I think I may have to do that roll over again, I missed some. For those who don't know, when you have a crochet project and you have to pull it out like this, you have to rip it out. That's called frogging. Rip it, rip it. And I think I'm only going to have to rip back so far. Just a little bit. And I need to make sure I'm tugging on the correct portion of the yarn. There we go. Well, sometimes, these things happen. Not a big deal. It's easy to fix. Alright, let's see. I have a radio station in my head. But sometimes I have the weirdest music going, like the Harry Potter music. Oh, what is what? What, the music that got stuck in my head? There we go. Let me roll this back here to that one corner, because corners always get 2 single crochet stitches, and I wasn't paying attention. 1, 2, 3. Back in there and do that stitch. There we go. Oh. Well, I think for the time being, let's just call it receptionist. I don't know that I really want to name the company right now. I mean, it's nothing, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a builder, but, perfectly normal and legal. I just prefer to keep, my working life separate from home life. I think it's better that way. I'm a little old school that way. I've noticed a lot of people now, especially younger people, don't do that. I do. I've just always felt that when you leave your job, at the end of the day, that's it. You don't take it home with you. And it's important mentally, really, to have that divide. I know somebody who's been working from home since 2020. He's not real crazy about it. He doesn't like working at home. I wish I could, but he's like, well, I miss the commute. I miss being able to stop at 7-Eleven to get coffee and all this, blah, blah, blah. So, and that definite, line between home time and work time. All right, let me just take a look here. There we go. So some people aren't crazy about working from home, and some people are okay with it. I've never done it. Oh, I only have one job. And I'd like to give it a try. It would save me a lot of money on gas, that's for sure, and tolls. I don't like paying tolls to have to drive to work. That wasn't a thing where I grew up. That was not a thing. We didn't really have toll roads in the Washington, D.C. area, which is my hometown. Whereas they're everywhere here in Florida. Oh my God, they are. I don't like it. It took me a long time to get one of those transponders to pay the tolls. I just flatly refused to do it. I was like, no, you will not make me drive on those toll roads. New Jersey is another state that's huge on tolls. You drive over the New Jersey state line, you might as well just hand them a blank check and then sign it when you leave. Because there are so many toll roads in New Jersey. My grandparents lived there for a long time. and I'd go up there and spend my Christmas vacation from school with them. And sometimes we'd go into New York City and we'd look at the Christmas decorations, and it was really pretty. I have to admit, New York decorates well at Christmas time. So that's a fabulous thing. If anybody here has never seen New York at Christmas, do it. Put it on your bucket list. You know, it's funny. I have been watching videos of some Europeans who would like to visit the U.S. One of them, he runs a channel called European Reacts. He seems like a really nice guy. His name is Andre, and he is interested in coming to the U.S. in the fall. He mentioned something about going to New York first. I'm sure that he's going to fly into New York from Portugal. That's where he lives. And then he said he wants to visit Texas. And I'm like, I hope he knows that the distance between New York and Texas is insane. It's not just something that you can do in a couple of hours drive. That's not how we roll here. Oh, children? I chose not to have children. I have never, since I was quite young, I just never had a maternal urge. In fact, I was rather intimidated by the idea. Scared the hell out of me. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm cut out to be a mom. I can't do this. I had zero confidence around kids. I just, it's a world that I never felt comfortable in. And I know that sounds weird, but that's where I've been ever since I was at least 10, if not before that. So that would put it in the 70s. So it's never been a thing for me. And this is going to sound weird, but unlike most girls, I never had a babysitting job growing up. It wasn't really my thing. When I started working, I just went into retail. But no, I never had a babysitting job or anything like that. Believe it or not, there are some women out here like us who just never felt the call to be a mom. I don't think I could have done it. I think I would have made an absolutely terrible mother. Ineffective, completely just horrible. The wimpiest, dumbest, stupidest mom ever, I swear. I'm happy with my kitties. I'm happy with pets. I can love them and they're much easier, but I never felt okay around them. I don't know why. I've never felt okay around children. And I don't have siblings either. Well, maybe I should correct that. I have a half sister. She was the product of my dad's first marriage. I am of his second marriage. But we never met until I was 25. So, yeah. Go ahead and cut that. Pull that through. And I'm going to do the invisible join. I don't know. I used to play Monopoly with my family a lot, but you know what? They played for blood. They really did. And it got frustrating after a while, but there were some cool ones. Card games and stuff, you know. Let me just eyeball that real quick and make sure that it looks proper. I mean, it's almost like there's an extra stitch, sort of, but it fits so neatly. And I want to make sure it doesn't curve, it doesn't, tug or make it look weird. That's why I have to, if you pull on the yarn, you do have to give it a little bit of a tug, but make it nice and gentle. So that way it's nice. It's not all. Oh, and just for the record, I was kind of a strange girl. I didn't have Barbie dolls. Didn't really like that kind of thing. I was more into model horses and Matchbox cars. You know, I think had I had the chance, I would have grown up an absolute gearhead girl. You know, because I liked the whole idea of fast cars. I don't know why. I have no idea. Maybe it was my dad because he liked NASCAR and all that kind of thing, and I was a complete daddy's girl growing up. It was a thing. Let me go ahead and sew this in. Let me take a look here. Well, I'm coming up on close to an hour on this live, so I think what I may do is go and get some fruit salad, have a little nibble on that. And I noticed that I was getting some messages from a friend of mine in Pennsylvania, so I'll go ahead and respond to her, and it's all good. So everybody have a good night. Take care.